The Tribune Company also owns WGN. The Chicago Cubs haven't seen a World Series victory for 100 years, so really, how do fans remain loyal? Well, former Vineline editor Jim McArdle went out on a quest to find out. He's here with his new book, Living the Dream, an inside account of the 2008 Cubs season. It really was supposed to be the year.
That's what I thought, Dana, yeah.
Well, and some would say, at the time you were living the dream, you quit your job and you made it your life's mission to really follow the Cubs, fans and all. What was that like?
Well, I followed them from the inside out. I had a press pass and was in the locker room and would spend pregame talking to players and kind of keeping a hand on the pulse of the team. And then would spend the games out with the fans getting to know their story. And I lived across the street as well, so even on the off hours, I would see the Cubs come home from road trips at 1:30 in the morning and getting off the bus.
So you really lived it night and day. You had great access because of your job. You also talked to former Cubs greats in all of this.
Yeah, that's right. I worked for the Cubs for 12 years, and during that time got to know people like Billy Williams and Ron Santo and Ernie Banks very well, and they know me and are very comfortable talking to me and giving me their opinions on the Cubs and the history of the team and times when they played.
Boy, that really is living the dream, I'd say. You have a funny story in here that we talked about just before we went on the air about the placards from opening day. It's going to happen, but on the back...
It said it's an accident, translated in Japanese. I guess
for Fukudome,
yeah,
right?
Fukudome, I guess, gave it a very strange look when he first saw it out in the bleachers.
You would think they would have checked into that a little more. Those are the great things that are in here, all the kind of behind-the-scenes stuff that happened, and also the stuff that we saw throughout the years. What I love is, once you get to the season, you go through the months, and as I'm reading this, it's building. And even though I know how it turns out, the excitement really built. April, May, June, July, you know, and you go through September, of course, when they win the title, and we have all so much hope. And you're thinking, I did a really good thing quitting my job. This is the year. And then October, there's only a few pages.
Yeah, it was very disappointing for me. And as I was saying to you before we started here, I think a lot of people were able to detach from it right away, and I had to kind of wallow in it and try to find some way to make sense of the end of the season. And it took me a little bit of work and a little bit of time, but I think I've kind of encapsulated how things ended and really what it means to be a Cubs fan.
Because while we were all upset and saying, you know what, maybe we won't be back next year, you're saying, I got to finish this book.
Yeah. It's really about a journey, not necessarily a destination. We all want to get to that destination, but it becomes more worthwhile, I think, when you spend all that time and invest so much emotion in getting there along the way.
One of the things I thought was interesting is I did, as I was reading through when I got to the end, get upset again. But so much of the book brought back the good memories of the season and reminded me about this year. And why I should have hope, I guess, once again. How about you? What do you think for this year?
I think they're going to be pretty good. Yeah, and I think we're going to miss DeRosa and Wood, and they changed some people around quite a bit, actually, for a team that won 97 games. But I think the pitching staff is real strong. I think the lineup's better with Milton Bradley in it. So,
absolutely.
You know, it's spring, and hope is eternal at this point.
At this point, you have a 9-to-5 job, or are you going to follow them again?
I'm not going to do that again. That was a one-time thing. And now I'm just going to kind of go back to being a fan.
And we will read the book and have hope again. It's great. It's called Living the Dream. Jim McArdle, thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Take care.